Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
All right, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is it. Here we go. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour with your host, me, Rob Cantrell. Oh man, I got a great episode. I have some great cannabis here. Finally ground. I got a great one-hitter or a chillum. Kind of clean, but finally ground. What we have here is Sour Diesel, as you know. We have Sour Diesel Headband. It's Sour Band, which is a strain of Sour Diesel and a strain of Headband. Now, Headband, I tasted Headband for the first time. It was my favorite strain at the Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam in 2007 that I actually performed in. But that was one of the strains that was coming out that year, and I had some, and I just remember it being like, bam! I was feeling it. So I'm working on the sound on this. So I got some Sour Headband, and then I also have a great tea. So I have a little bit of ground up cannabis. We'll have that, but I also have some green mint tea, and that's from a really cool company. I already downed like a whole French press of coffee. I have that house blend Stumptown, but this is my tea stash, my herbs, everything's up good with good quality. But Aesthete Tea, it's from Portland. This is a green mint loose leaf tea. This is the first time I actually used. For Christmas, somebody got me a loose leaf. It's like one of those metal containers that you do tea in, and it's a strainer, but it's got like a little crabby claw, like it goes. I love it. So it's the first time I ever did it, and this is actually a female, black-owned company. So this is a black-owned small American business out of Portland that somebody gifted me some of this, and I thought I'd try it out. And then when I showed it to somebody that knows what's up, they were like, "Dude, that's a really good tea. Like, that's next level." So it's green and mint, and I actually did it the loose leaf way, and I got this little strainer kebab. That's on the side of the coffee cup. This is a green mint tea, and I actually put this like royal honey, this really good honey. This is gonna be like the most healthiest thing. The thing about coffee is I don't know how good it is. I do think it fries your nerves and it scrambles your brain sometimes, but in a great way, in the best way, especially as you go older and go through reality and figure out, we are just life organisms slowly decaying. You might need a little coffee to, fight through the next 10, 20 years. But here's some this is green mint tea. I always liked green tea. And I love the mint. Oh man, that is good. Mint with the green tea. Oh man, this is like really good tea. And it's all natural. Check out, this tea bag's awesome. It's like all black and cool, and it looks like just a packet of great herb, but it's just black green mint tea. This is total Portland. But it's Aesthete, aesthete. Kind of like aesthetic, the word aesthetic, but you stop it at aesthete. You can check them out at Aesthete Teas. I was checking out their website. It's dope. and it's some of the best loose leaf tea out there. So I got that mint. The sun is coming through the window. It's hitting my plants. I've been hugging and kissing my plants. No, they are not cannabis plants. Any feds listening? They are, I don't know what kind of plant. I got that from the store. It's a hanging plant. Like, it's total 70s hanging ivy plant. And then I got one of those snake plants that's good for the air. But I've been, it's just been cold as hell and crazy and snowy and slushy. But now everything's turning around. How are you guys doing out there? I'm sorry to be so rude, man. I just wanted to tell you that I got some good herb, this sour band. I'm going to have some of that. But then I also got this great tea, and it's green. And I promised myself, I was like, when you drink hardcore coffee in the morning, what I have been doing is doing some espressos in the afternoon. Like yesterday, I had to run an errand like at 3 or 4, and I stopped by and I had an espresso, but I already had a bunch of coffee this morning. And then I have to say, my chest, like I had to stop and get like a bottle of seltzer and pound it because that shit, an espresso is no joke. It's, it's just like, it's like the same thing as hashish or, a lot of these oils or Dab Master Freshes there's a lot of Dab Master Fresh. No hating on the Dab Master Fresh, the oil life, which is actually like monetarily, like money and like space-wise, it'll get you where, you need to be. But me, I'm just a flour, tap water type of dude. I got some good flour. I got some great sour diesel and Headband. And I got the sour Headband is what this is. And then I got some great coffee, but I'm just enjoying this green tea. And I'm drinking water. Like, yeah, the espresso is like a little much. So I kind of want to start moving into green teas because green teas are anti-inflammatory and they're like anti-carcinogenic. Like, they're supposed to be blocking cancers. I don't know if that's for real, but I think all those natural ways are blocking, whatever, a lot of sickness. I think health is wealth, and I do think gut health is important. I do think brain health is important, and I do think it's tricky to navigate it all in a society right now that's like fully going internet, capitalism, which is good and bad and ugly and weird, and but also, as bad as it's not bad. I don't know this. I haven't gotten my shot yet, so I'm still quarantining up. I'm double masking. I haven't performed since last year. I did 2 shows, one in the park, one was like outside. No, I did 3. I did 3 shows. But I'll be ready to come back and doing this podcast. That's what I love about doing this podcast. This podcast has me, it's a bit of a challenge to like book people and stay on point and keep it moving and keep it grooving. But it also, I get to express myself. That's what I love about doing. And I have a lot to express myself. New Jersey, there's so much to talk about. New Jersey just legalized cannabis, which is amazing. That's a big hit for Jersey, a big sour diesel hit for Jersey. And legalizing. I was reading one of the 15 states. So the marketplace hasn't gone in, and it hasn't gone nationally yet. But technically, yeah, where is weed legal? Can you get effective immediately? Those in the Garden State can carry up to 6 ounces without threat of arrest. I've never had 6 ounces. I've only had 1 ounce. Am I saying that right? Yeah, OZ. I was thinking of gram. I've had several grams of weed, but ounce, that's a huge amount. But I do think New Jersey and California are doing, like, they've known for a long time that cannabis should be legal and that too many people are being arrested for it. And it's clogging up our prison system with all these misdemeanors or even just low-level pot crimes. Or they're getting throwing other people back into jail just for some weed, which, they're just trying to stay at home and get some good night's sleep half the time. But yeah, please support this podcast, the Patreon. I'm looking forward to taking this out on the road and getting out there. I'm even looking at spaces right now, and there has been people looking for sponsorship. If you want to be sponsored on the Cannabis Coffee Hour, right now I'm giving a free shout out to Aesthete Tea. And then the cannabis, there's no brand to the cannabis. This is just a dude I know. But it was a different dude than the last dude, so I don't know. I know some dudes. But the cannabis is sour headband, which is amazing. And then the mint tea, man, I'm just all greened out. It's almost, I'm like growing moss all over. Feeling very Kermit-like right now because I do have an audition I have to tape. I'm looking at this right now. I won't talk about it or I won't get it. But that just came in right before this podcast. So that's why I'm juggling like some auditions and sending some stuff out. And it's been crazy snow. So I didn't book any guests, but I do want to celebrate Black History Month. This is the end. By supporting Aesthete Tea, which is a Black-owned business, small business. I think that's cool. I think that's really great. I think that battles white supremacy, and I think just supporting small businesses, you're supporting a dream. So you might as well do that. I think that's kind of where it's going. I think, by legalizing cannabis and making it recreational. People do get crafty. People do get their Etsy on. People do start making podcasts and making beats and making teas, loose leaf tea. Loose leaf tea, it's just stuff from the ground. And then it's just packaging and graphic design. A lot of this, the older I get, the more I start to understand business and understand ideas and not to have have such a romantic view of some of these institutions in industry. That's what I'm saying. It's like I've just seen things. I remember when Apple was such a small part of the marketplace in computers. Like in college, Apple was specifically for the creative person when the creative person was not looked upon as the moneymaker. And now in 20 years, everything's flipped. It's literally just an army of podcasters and TikTokers. I haven't flipped over to TikTok, but it's starting to tempt me. I am not tempted by Crowd House or what is that, Loud House or what is it? That one app that everybody it sounds like one of those hotlines, like the single hotlines, like people would advertise in the 80s where it'd just be an open line and people just yammering on. But I know it's not like that, and I'll probably be on it in 3 weeks. That's the thing about ragging on technology. It's just always moving. Technology doesn't care about you. It's just always going to keep moving forward. Eventually, you're going to be the old fart. That's why I'm just trying to keep it simple and trying to do, like today I'm working on the sound. I'm just recording this and then I'm using an SLR camera to do the video, but I've never done that before and I'm doing it myself. So I'm learning all about that. But the video will be behind the Patreon if it works, and I can edit and I can put the sound in there correctly. Just a little tip to all you junior filmmakers. The two things that I was told is sound and lighting. If you're gonna do directing, you gotta make sure your sound is correct. That's why I'm always interested in sound. in microphones. I don't like wireless microphones. I like the hard line. Learning about the sound wave is so wild, and seeing it in picture formation. It's like it's conceptualizing and measuring something that shouldn't be conceptualized or measured in any fashion or degree except for humans. Humans, man, we will conceptualize and name and break it down to its very last compound. And that's how it's got to be. You got to know the info in order to move forward. And I am really talking in circles right now. But that's what an afternoon tea is. We're having a nice tea. It's beautiful. It's green. It's mint. Why do we love mint? I love mint. I love spearmint. I love cinnamon. But I love mint, and it's just a green leaf. It looks like weeds. Have you ever grown mint? Same thing with vanilla. The vanilla bean, the flavoring. Oh, I made this rice and beans. So we had taco night, and I made some black beans, and I made some rice, some brown rice, and I mixed it all together, and I spiced it, and then I hit it with this this super concentrated chili hot sauce. It was laughable, man. I literally and it had like a double lock on the bottle and it was like, it's like, stay away from children, wash it when it hits your skin. But it really is like some of those, when you see some of those crazy peppers, like those super dried out, like it was like the hottest peppers, but like that liquidized, that was what it was. And I put like 3 to 5 drops of this hot sauce in this rice and beans, and it fucking made everything molten lava, like everything. Like I had 2 beans, like I was just gonna sample it, and I had to eat like 2 raw tortillas with nothing on them just to dilute the spice of 2 of these beans. I had to throw the whole thing out. It wasn't worth it. Maybe a younger me, but man, you start sweating as soon as it touched, it was death. And for a cat that drinks a lot of coffee like me, so my stomach is sensitive. That's why I'm all about the banana shakes with oat milk. I've been getting into, dude, I got the best box of muesli. I got this crazy like Swiss brand of muesli. It's like it's like raw oats and like nuts and dates and all this shit. Like if you mix that with some oat milk and a little bit of yogurt and some raw honey, it's literally like, because your body doesn't have to work to digest any of that. I know it's all kind of soft, but sometimes I like that in the system. And not as much milk. That's why I wonder if oat milk's good for you. Man, this green tea, it's good. It's got the caffeine, but right there, right when I grabbed the cup, I was looking for a caffeine blast. And it has a caffeine kick, but it doesn't have, the green tea doesn't have the caffeine blast. Which, the type of coffee my coffee game is I had these African beans that were raw beans that were medium roasted, and they were from the Bagel Pub. And the Bagel, I don't know, whoever ran the Bagel Pub loves coffee because their beans were fucking knocking. A lot of to this game, I'm going to eventually sell my own. It's just like getting a bunch of beans and then cooking them in an oven and then putting a label on it and have your friend Steve come up with like a flying saucer. But some people have good beans and some people have bad beans. Like I've talked about on this podcast, it kind of runs the gamut, Starbucks has good beans, but how they roast it and how aggressively it's produced, it comes through. Vibes come through. It's like a dude playing a shitty guitar. If he's good and what he's supposed to be doing is what he's supposed to be doing, the vibe comes through. So small batch, small business, the vibe comes through. Aesthetic, I have to say this green tea and mint really is good. I'm just so used, and I'm kind of baked out that I'm just so used to coffee that I thought it was going to be a caffeine blast. But I need to settle down more, you know? A lot of life really happens when you settle down. A lot of like the real part of life. When you just let it happen, you know? There's like a saying, like, man is supposed to be left alone. Like, I know specifically I need time alone. And I'm trying to etch that in and do meditation. But it's been hard. Like, it's just been so cold and then double COVID. But there's really nothing to complain about it. I'm healthy. I got a free test just last week. I've been tested weekly. And I'm running clean. I'm running mean. I'm eating vitamins like you wouldn't believe. I got a box of the emergency, and then I got these COC10, QCOC10. They're like these vitamins for your heart, which I think is just like good fish oil. I think it's high-end fish oil. And then I got vitamin E, and then I also have vitamin D. And that's what I've been taking at night after I eat. But I made the best chicken the other night on this skillet. We got this old skillet that has the ridges in it. If you want to get a skillet with the ridges, it's pretty much like feels like you're barbecuing. So I've been making really good chicken in that, and then I got some wings and I put it in there, and I had it all like I got these crazy rubs. Are you guys fucking with rubs? Rubs are big on the gift giving. People like to gift you out rubs. Shout out to Ralphie May. Ralphie May's rub. I have Ralphie May's barbecue rub. Ralphie May was a comedian, and I performed against him on Last Comic Standing. In 2003, we also toured together and good friends, and he was an awesome, awesome friend and a nice, loving person, and I miss him. And he had a barbecue sauce, and he was a comedian, and he was from the South, and he had a rub, which sounds... yeah. But those rubs, like, it's just like a bunch of spices, man. It's like you just spice it all up, spice up the meat. So I've been doing a lot of chicken. I've been kind of steering away a little bit. I mean, I've been doing yoga, I've been meditating. It's weird how life, like, makes you change. Like, things are changing right now at such a pace that I think people are wigging out. But it's like everything has to change because everything has already changed. It's like quarantining up and the COVID and all that shit. I think everything's going to be different after that. I keep on saying that, but I don't know. But I really do think things are going to be a lot different. Just how money moves around, how people do business, how people consume art. But I do think there's going to be a great celebration. I just see more and more people. I don't have the vaccine, but I do see more and more people getting the vaccine. And that's a good fucking sign. When you see more and more people get the vaccine. Because I've seen people like in their 30s, but I'm not judging, but because the rollout was so funky. But I don't want to talk about it because there's crazy stats and I can go into all kinds of stuff, but there's enough out there on that. I need to start talking more about herb and music. This thing is being rated on as a music podcast, which I do want to lean into. We've had some great musicians on here. Mike Doty, Neil Fallon, Nate Bergman. I need to get more and more. I've reached out to a few. R.I.P. I got to give a shout out to one of the original Fat Boys, Prince Marky D, man. Prince Marky D passed away, and he was one of the Fat Boys, and I loved the Fat Boys. That was one of my first hip-hop albums. I'm trying to think, man. It may have been the Fat Boys. I remember Run DMC and the Fat Boys. That was the Fresh Fest, and those two pretty much came out at almost the exact same time. It's crazy. I think Run DMC had that first album. They may have came first, but Run DMC came out of right after this song. The song I know they had a couple songs before that, but there used to be What People Did for Money by Divine Sounds. What People Did for Money by Divine Sounds was a great hip hop song, and it was a lot like The Message, and it was fucking hot on the streets that summer. I just remember that. And then Run DMC came, and then Run DMC was cool, like did their own thing. But their first song was Hard Times, which was kind of like, their answer to Divine Sounds. But I don't know, maybe they went first. Somebody might call me that. I'm a hip hop head, but I'm not a hip hop nerd. There's some people that just know hip hop like it's fucking golf, And nowadays hip hop's so big and music's so big, like even that's why I think about conceptual thinking and labeling stuff. Like it's even now I'm on a vibe level. I think vibes are a more honest approach to music, or mostly like because music can be generated so fast and easily, and there's so many people doing it, and there's so many different influences moving by so fast that the more you are yourself, the more funkier it's gonna get. And that is the key, is to get as funky as you can get. But I got some Sour Diesel, which is it's Sour Headband, which is, man, I'm just a lucky, lucky person. I got great mint tea. I got a great water bottle. I was saying, I was kicking over all these glasses of water. I finally got a good, and it's like hybrid glass metal water bottle. And I just got it filled to the brim of water, tap mode. I still rock tap. I know some places in the world you can't even drink tap, So you got to be lucky in that sense. But is it the best? Probably not. But I don't know, those filters, I do see like those pictures. It was kind of bumming me out, the Bill Gates drinking doo-doo water. Bill Gates was drinking doo-doo water, drinking it out of this machine like, it's clean. But I know you can do that. Filters are crazy. I know that because I did 97 days in the outdoors in college. I did a Knowles course for a semester. And what you learn is living in the outdoors, or anybody that does hardcore hiking and packing or outdoorsmanship, hunters and shit, if you have to live off the land, there's these super filters. There's shit like you could drink almost like swamp water. It will make it, feel like it's Fiji. And I think water is what we're made of. That's with the whole flowing, everything. I have a big hunk of that on my album, Pure Uncut Joy, which you can listen to. Listen to it on Spotify. Spotify is the easiest thing to go. I think of my next project, I'm going heavy on Spotify. But I just want to give a shout out to Prince Marky D of the Fat Boys, which my favorite tune is Can You Feel It? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Prince Marky D just had a great flow. And he was Puerto Rican, and he was from Brooklyn. And he's from the original, 80s hip-hop, just that style. That's what... Everybody in my generation, born in 72, wanted to be Lee from Beat Street. And Prince Marky D just had that same New York b-boy, original hip-hop vibe. And his flow was just all good. There was, there's no violence. There's a little bit of Chiba. It's all goofball, fun, funky, fresh flows. And that's the type of shit that I'm on right now. And I've always been on. So this one goes out to Prince Marky D. in the exhale for New Jersey. Chris Christie needs to get some herb band, get some, get his perspective right, slow down a little bit. He should be running on his private beach or wherever he is every day. Just get up and walk. But you can't judge other people, I never wanted to be that one of those comedians that talked about other celebrities. And I didn't want to have a podcast where I'm just ragging on people. Oh, I'm just talking about Chris Christie just because when you do have that much money and influence and time, and he's already had so much success in his political career, I would just walk every morning. I would just get up and walk until lunchtime, and then I would go surf, and then I would take bong hits and practice bongos in the afternoon on a beach in New Jersey. And he's probably doing that, but maybe sneak in a sub. Now, see, that's an easy joke, so sorry, Chris Christie. Or I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to do a political thing or one that I'm talking about politics, but I also don't want to be one that I'm always thinking about what I'm talking about, which I'm doing right now. But this was a funky, fresh one. I wanted to get out there and figure out what the vibes are right now in the world. The vibes are funky, especially but the podcasting is wild because I see them all and I'm excited to build on this. Like and subscribe to Cannabis Coffee Hour. We're going to have more cannabis, more tea. This is a black-owned business tea. It's called Aesthete, AESTHETE, and it's just a loose mint. This is the first time I got one of these chompers, one of these tea bag things, metal. This is completely recyclable. I'm trying to be more Greta Thunberg in the future, I gotta get my Greta on. Plant is melting. Texas is freezing. Things are getting funky. I'm working on this music project, so I'm getting funky with that. But I don't want to talk about it. I want to show it, so that's coming out. So hold your horses. But as you hold your horses, go check out Pure Uncut Joy. Check out all the works of the Fat Boys. Can you feel it? Jailhouse Rock. They got it. I think In Jail is what it's called. And then the original Stickum. I think it's called Fat Boys. Like the original. Like that thing holds up to like sucker MCs. Like it's just so fucking raw and great. And I saw them perform live, and I got it live when I was young. That was the first concert. I talk about it. It's called the Fresh Fest on my Pure Uncut Joy. I don't want this to be some fucking plug for all. I'm trying not to be so pluggy and cheesy about shit. But you also got to hustle stuff. But the truth is the truth. And the Fat Boys was the first concert I paid for that I went to go see, and I saw and got my mind blown like it was the fucking Beatles playing Yellow Submarine. I mean, it was, and those guys were the Beatles. The Fat Boys in the Run DMC were the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. In 1984, that was the shit that was popping that nobody, it was like the younger generation. It was like the shit, everybody's like, oh, what's that weird shit coming around the corner? And that was it. And now it's like the most mainstream hip hop, multi-billionaire. P. Diddy riding on super yachts with F-14 fighter planes on them. But people are just made a lot of money off of it, as well as the Fat Boys did. And I paid a lot of money for it, and it's been great. I love the Fat Boys. I love Run DMC. I love Houdini. All that Globe and Mantronics, Beasties, all day. Not all the time, though. I have been listening to some jam band, a lot of Fish. Put on Soul Shakedown Party by Fish on Alexa. It's actually a live, and they recorded it and released it. It's a live version in New York during their Baker's Dozen performance. I listened to that. That's been rocking. What else have I been pumping? I've been pumping some reggae, some dub, some Sublime. Lots of hip hop, lots of Cool G rap. Like I said in that last one. No, Wu-Tang. I've been pumping a lot of Wu-Tang. Yeah, I just keep on. And then I guess a lot of, Widespread Panic. I did listen to them a little bit. I've been working out. I've been doing my 5 Tibetan rites sweat. It's called the 5 Tibetan rites stretches, but they're more like exercise. I went through like 5 days of just like eating like shit. Like it's just the cold weather. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but I was just like, couldn't eat enough chocolate. There was times I was just like, I was going into the cupboard and grabbing fucking just handfuls of chocolate chips. That's the craziest, when there's a bag full of chocolate chips laying around and then you just go ham on it and you just, and then the other ones were, they were making brownies, so they were called chocolate morsels, and those things melt like crazy. So I was just like grabbing handfuls of that out of the cupboard discreetly, and it was just melting all over my hand, and then I'm like licking my hand, and who knows where that's been. I know where it's been, but that's why I'm saying, you know. I've been playing my guitar a little bit, but I lost my tuner, and I think there's a way I can tune my guitar on GarageBand. So that's my thing I'm trying to figure out, is my next project that I'm working on. I think I need a little bit of water right now. So let's take a water break, everybody, on 3, 2, 1. Here we go, big sip. Oh, that's awesome. Now hit the like, subscribe button. Is it annoying? But the only thing is, I see these other people and they got so many hits and so many views, and I just know there's a way to fuck with the algorithm and, you know, ask for the likes and subscribes. That's what it is. So please do, because I love doing the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I want to say thank you to everybody that is on the Patreon. Thank you so much. You guys we're going to build that up slowly but surely. Bit by bit, we're going to get this to be a fine-tuned machine of content and creation and funkiness and freshness. I'm excited. Please check out our IG, the Instagram, which is at Cannabiscoffeehour. Definitely follow that. Big things. I got video clips coming. We're going to be trying out some more cannabis. We're going to do some more stretches. I wanted to meditate before this thing. I think it's really important, especially now with all of the internet and all the stuff that I do on the computer. I do want to get out and about and more in the field with this. And we will. But as we get it all together, I just wanted to say thank you. This has been a good time, and more to come, more guests. You can email me at contact@RobCantrell if you have any suggestions. If you are a sponsor, maybe you have a cannabis company in New Jersey, I can help you out. I can get ears, I can get people on your product. Because the numbers have been going up more and more and more, and I love doing this. And we'll get some more musicians, some more comedians, some more artists. I'll talk about life, whatnot. Maybe we'll have a nap episode. I don't know. That's it, everybody. Love yourself, love your plants, love each other, and